On that fateful rainy night, Larissa was left alone in a world that seemed to reject her before she even had a chance to know it. But where there was pain, love found its way. When Adani Amosu picked her up from the cold street, a new chapter began, one that was not defined by abandonment but by the powerful embrace of family.
Adani and her husband, Kalechi, had longed for a child for years.
When Larissa came into their lives, they didn't see her as a burden but as a blessing, a gift from the heavens. They showered her with affection from the moment they laid eyes on her, determined to make her feel wanted and cherished.
As Larissa grew, she blossomed in the warmth of the Amosu home.
Adani would braid her hair every morning, humming sweet songs of joy, while Kalechi told her stories of brave girls who grew up to be strong women. They were a family bound not by blood, but by love that grew deeper with each passing day. But it wasn't just her adoptive parents who played a role in Larissa's healing. The entire community of Beko welcomed her with open arms.
Their neighbor, Auntie Neka, would often bring over homemade treats and sit with Larissa, teaching her how to bake. "You are loved, my dear," Neka would say. "Never forget that."
At school, Larissa was surrounded by friends who saw her for who she was, not for where she came from. Her best friend, Amara, was always by her side, encouraging her to dream big and never doubt her worth. Together, they would spend hours talking about the future, making plans for adventures far beyond the village. In every corner of her life, Larissa felt the love and kindness of those around her. These people, with their generous hearts and unwavering support, became the foundation of her healing. Slowly, the memories of her abandonment faded, replaced by the overwhelming sense of belonging she felt in her new home. One evening, as Larissa and Adan sat beneath the shade of an old tree in their backyard, Larissa looked up at her mother.
"Mama, I used to wonder why my real parents left me, but now I see. I have everything I need. You've given me the love they couldn't."
Adana's eyes filled with tears, and she hugged her daughter tightly.
Love heals all wounds, Larissa. And you, my sweet girl, have brought so much love into our lives.
Surrounded by the affection of her adoptive parents, friends, and neighbors, Larissa healed from the pain of her early days. Her past no longer haunted her. Instead, she was filled with hope and gratitude for the people who had made her life whole again. In the heart of Beko village, Larissa found not only a family but a home filled with love. And it was that love that allowed her to flourish and leave her trauma behind. As Larissa grew into a young woman, her heart remained full of gratitude for the life she had been given. The love and kindness that had surrounded her from childhood shaped her into someone who believed deeply in the power of family, compassion, and second chances. Yet, despite the happiness she found in her adoptive family, the memories of being abandoned as a baby still lingered in her heart, not as a wound, but as a reminder of where she came from. With time, Larissa began to feel a growing desire to give back. She knew there were other children out there just like she had been, abandoned, alone, and longing for love.
One day, sitting under the same tree in her backyard, where she often reflected on her life, Larissa had an idea.
She would create a place where these children could find the hope and care that she had once been given. And so, Larissa's foundation was born. With the support of her adoptive parents, friends, and the Beko community, Larissa set up her NGO dedicated to helping abandoned and orphaned children. Her mission was simple: to offer love, support, and a safe space for children who had been left behind, just as she once had been. The foundation quickly grew, and Larissa's passion and story touched the hearts of many. People from all over the region began to donate resources, volunteer their time, and offer their skills. The foundation provided food, shelter, and education to children in need. But more than that, it gave them a sense of belonging, a family. One afternoon, as Larissa stood at the entrance of the foundation's building, she saw a group of children playing happily in the courtyard. Tears filled her eyes, but they were tears of joy. She thought about how far she had come and how, in some way, her story had come full circle.
Standing beside her, Adan smiled. "You've made something beautiful, Larissa. You're giving these children the same love we gave you."
Larissa nodded, her heart full. "It's because of you, Mama. You showed me what love can do."
Larissa's foundation became a beacon of hope for abandoned children, a place where they could heal, grow, and dream of a better future. And with each child who found their way through its doors, Larissa knew that her purpose was being fulfilled. She was giving back the gift that had once saved her. Larissa's new chapter, family and love. As Larissa poured her heart into building Larissa's foundation, her life was filled with purpose and fulfillment. Yet another beautiful chapter was about to unfold, one that would bring her the joy of building her own family. At a charity event hosted by her foundation, Larissa met David, a kind and compassionate man who had volunteered his time to support the cause.
I was drawn to Larissa's strength, warmth, and the incredible passion she had for helping children in need.
Over time, their friendship blossomed into something deeper. David admired Larissa not just for her work, but for the way she carried herself, with grace, resilience, and a heart open to love despite the pain of her early life.
In David, I found a man who understood my journey and shared my vision for a future filled with compassion and kindness.
After a few years of courtship, David proposed to Larissa under the same tree where she often reflected on her life, the place where she had once dreamed of helping children like herself.
With tears of joy, I said yes, knowing I was embarking on a new journey, this time with a partner who loved me deeply.
Their wedding was a small, intimate celebration, surrounded by family, friends, and the children from Larissa's foundation, who looked up to her as a beacon of hope. It was a day filled with love and gratitude, a true testament to the power of second chances and the beauty of building a family from the ground up. In the years that followed, Larissa and David started their own family. They were blessed with 2 children, and Larissa's heart swelled with love for them.
As a mother, I was determined to give my children the same nurturing, unconditional love that Adana and Kalechi had given me.
Together, Larissa and David raised their children in a home filled with warmth and generosity. Larissa continued her work with the foundation, teaching her children the importance of kindness and compassion, and showing them the value of giving back. In moments of reflection, Larissa often marveled at how far life had taken her, from the abandoned baby wrapped in a cloth to the woman who had found not only a loving family, but also her own purpose. She knew that her journey had been shaped by love, first from her adoptive parents, then from the community, and now from the family she had created with David.